Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings, a.k.a. Naruto.
Yeah. I'm Eddie McGee, SWAT team. Where's the dope, nigga? Get on the ground. Where's the dope, Naruto?
Where's the dope?
Get on the ground and spread your cheeks, Goku.
Oh, man.
You imagine the police, like, beating up fucking Goku? Like, sprinkle some crack on him. Get him out of here.
Sprinkle some crack.
Get him the fuck out of here. All right, man. Another week, episode 241.
Yes, sir.
As you see, we're fully dressed in our costumes for Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween to y'all.
We finally took it serious. Say, hey, you know what? Just for production purposes, let's go ahead and get some full gear here. I'm dressed as a SWAT team member. I'm kicking down doors. I'm getting the dope out of the house. Niggas. I'm arresting the bad blacks, not the good ones.
The bad blacks.
Get on the ground, Darrell.
Anybody named Darrell is a bad black.
Yeah, you're not a very fine person. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Happy Halloween, all of those. By the time you hear it, it'll be Halloween. Mm-hmm. And your kids will be simultaneously rotting their teeth out from the candy.
Yeah.
And like, Mommy, I want some Snickers for breakfast. I'm like, it's okay, baby. Go ahead and grab you some Snickers.
Or overdosing on fentanyl.
Oh man, you gotta watch that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got fentanyl that looks like Skittles.
Yeah.
That's a bad look. Your kid will be like, I like this candy. I can't see, Mom. Like, oh, fuck. My kid's on fentanyl. There's going to be some TikToks like, I think my son accidentally took fentanyl because every time I kept trying to, like, take the candy from him, like, he kept telling me, like, Mommy, I'll suck your dick. And I'm like,
oh,
what?
my God. This is
I don't have
crazy.
a penis, Timmy. Timmy was trying to sell me his services for candy, and I knew because back in the day, that's what I used to do, you know?
Darrell used to sell drugs, and I used to suck his dick.
Oh, man. Then I came and arrested Darrell, and I cut the plug off.
You remember that guy that was trying to legalize drugs?
Oh, yeah, the black dude, the professor.
Yeah, I honestly think he was on to something, but it's just a wild. It's just not. It's not even realistic.
No, I just think he likes crack.
Yeah, but I think his point made some sense if you really like looked at it objectively. But at the same time, it's like, dog, you trying to legalize drugs?
Yeah, you know
this
what
is
the
stupid.
fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
this guy's crazy. All right, let's get right into it. Recently, me and Keith did a clip. We talked about Rich Boy and what happened to him.
Rich Boy selling it.
Rich Boy selling it. And we posted a clip and, you know, it got a lot of traction and people laughed and whatnot. And it was because Rich Boy looked terrible. And, you know, we don't like to shit on people. We did it for comedic purposes, man, you know, for satire.
We're funny.
Yeah, it was a satirical undertone. We didn't completely shit on him and like, we hope he does more crack. We didn't do that.
I didn't say that.
No, nobody. We don't wish more crack on him. He's got enough crack in his life already. You got enough crack, Rich Boy. You don't need more.
That's crazy.
But we cracked the joke, man, and no pun intended.
Yeah,
we cracked the joke, and we posted it, and on freaking YouTube, people are giving us shit. Oh, you niggas is corny, and
you niggas is clowns.
Y'all some clowns. Y'all
got a low budget setup.
Yeah, y'all got a low budget setup. Y'all should be helping him instead of making fun of Rich Boy. Let me be very
crabs in a barrel.
Yeah, y'all crabs in a barrel.
It's
mentality.
like a good 60 comments of niggas going crazy.
They just tripping on us. Let me be clear for all of you in the comments. Thank you for being in the comments, even being negative, because you're giving us more attention. Thank you. Secondly, none of you guys create content. The best you could do in your life is come to somebody else's platform and comment some shit when you didn't even listen to the full context of the conversation. You're probably a casual or you don't listen to the podcast. You don't understand what we're about. We've been doing this for over 4.5 years. And not only that, Rich Boy himself had no problem. Rich Boy selling crack. Oh, you put that in a lyric, right? So you just you put crack as this colorful thing that you were doing, something that destroyed the black community. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about two podcasters that made light of him looking terrible. The same guy that said Rich Boy selling crack. And y'all was cool with that. Y'all didn't have no problem with him talking about selling crack, but you mad at two guys laughing at him for looking bad. Can you make it make sense, please?
It don't.
It doesn't make sense. You guys are just a bunch of it. What this is selective morality at its finest. It's selective morality because you look at two guys with a platform that's not even that big yet, and you like, y'all trash, y'all niggas is clowns. Fine. I'll be a clown, but I'm going to be a millionaire soon too. You're just going to be a nigga in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a cheap setup? Let me be clear when I say this. We're shooting, how much was that camera? $2,600?
Something like that.
$2,700 camera. This is a black magic camera. Behind us, this wall. We got this wall. It didn't cost a whole bunch. That's true. But the acoustic paneling, that was over $1,000. That's a $2,500 laptop that keeps on. These microphones cost money. All this shit costs money. So before you say this is a weak setup, you can't afford it. You only got a phone. You're commenting from your phone. Me and Keith also do this in the studio we pay for. You're not paying for a studio. You're just a guy in the comments with no content, and the best shot you got at us is getting in a comment section.
Yeah.
I think it's important we get back at you. It's important that we never respond to shit like this because we're too focused on the content. But I thought that this has been motivated, and me and Keith talked about it. This has been motivated by Andrew Schultz. Shout out to Andrew Schultz, because Schultz responded to some dickheads in his comments saying, "Oh, you know, you're what do you say something about? He made fun of
Kanye West,
and they said actually Kanye was right, and you know." Just a bunch of right wing dickheads got on his case, you know, and because Andrew's a lot like us in the sense that, you know, especially when you're objective, there's some liberal shit we push back on and we don't agree with, but that doesn't mean we're fucking conservative. We just push back on anything. And if you have a point or two that you agree on with somebody that's conservative, they just automatically think you're conservative. And now they're talking about, oh, George Floyd died of fentanyl. He died because of that. And he said, no, that's not true. And they got on his case. But in our case, we got motherfuckers in the comments that are like, y'all clowns, crabs in a barrel. But these are the same people that have nothing to say about Rich Boy.
Yeah. The song is about selling crack. I mean, this is like, and also it's like, it's just jokes. Like, like people got to stop taking themselves so seriously.
Right.
Like y'all trying to have a Malcolm X moment in a joke. Like it just don't really work, you know. Like
we literally made fun of Martin Luther King, for Christ's sake, man.
We make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
We make fun of ourselves. We just made fun of black people.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of, you know, our podcast. That's the type of comedy that we like. The type of comedy that we do, and for the most part, people found it funny. But for whatever reason, it's just starts circulating on YouTube, and the YouTube Shorts, and it just got the attention of everybody. That's just like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting.
And we're gonna clip this up and put it up, and I hope y'all all come back. I hope you all come back and be like, yeah, these niggas trash. Look at their weak setup. Look at this and that. That's fine. But hey, can you? The people that said we got a weak setup and all of that, can you put your content in the comment section so we could go check out your studio? You know, the one that you don't have? Go ahead and post that in the comment section. Just please post anything, whether it's hateful or not, because all you're doing is bringing more attention to the algorithm.
Yeah.
If you really hated us, then you wouldn't comment. You know, that's because if you don't comment, you don't bring more traction. So, hey.
I think for me, I get the message. I get the idea of like, yo, we shouldn't be bringing black people down and all this other stuff. But it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Y'all acting like this is the same, you know, with Dave Chappelle and the whole trans community.
Right.
Like y'all kind of missing the point of what we're saying because, you know, you don't understand like comedy kind of lives in a space that's outside of like a casual conversation.
Right.
You won't hear Eddie and I in a casual conversation like, man, like, you know, such and such. Like I would never casually talk about how bad he looked or how, you know, him doing drugs is funny. It's not funny to me. Right. But in the context of like, you know, a podcast and we're telling jokes, like it's all funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody could, like we say all the time, like anybody could get these jokes.
Yeah, man. Just a lot of you motherfuckers too. The problem is too is somebody else could tell the same joke and you'll laugh at it as long as their platform is massive because you guys can't think for yourself. If Dave Chappelle was telling a joke or some other comedian that's getting, you know, he has 50 million followers, you're gonna laugh at that because a lot of people what they do is I've literally heard people say the same message. Like let's say for example, you got a cousin that's on drugs and you tell your cousin like, hey man, I believe in you, you're a good person, but you got to get off of drugs. And you're like, man, stop judging me, leave me alone, man. I don't want to talk about it. But then Kevin Hart gets on Instagram and says, hey man, y'all got to get off these drugs, man. You got to do better. He'll be like, man, That's real. That's real, Kevin. What was it? Kevin Hart. Yeah, Kevin Hart, man, that's real. Like, this is what people do. They will devalue your comment or your content because it's not as big as somebody else's. And it's like, motherfucker, they said the same shit.
Yeah.
But the fact that you feel like here's the thing. When people feel like they're on the same level as you, the energy they give you is different. But when they feel like you're above, when you're above them in any capacity, they know that their hateful comment, it don't work because you're already too successful. Bro, me and Keith are still ascending regardless.
Yeah.
We're not worried about, I swear to God, we're not even bothered by the hateful shit just because we made it to a place. Now, Eddie McGee 5 years ago, I would have been in my feelings like, oh, that's messed up. We're not really like that. That's bullshit, man. They shouldn't be saying it. But dude, I'm 37, homie. You think I care about, like, bro, I do a dangerous job for a living. I drive a bomb for a living. Do you think I care about a couple comments coming from somebody that's probably using Wi-Fi? You probably got your internet service cut off. You probably using McDonald's Wi-Fi, arguing in the goddamn YouTube.
Also, these people, like, the thing that bothered me about it too is like, if y'all really cared about Rich Boy in any capacity, y'all would go stream his music.
Right.
Niggas is not playing. We could go look at his Spotify numbers now. It's probably in the 6 digits or something like that monthly, if that. But y'all don't really care. Y'all just want to comment on something.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Spread some nonsense.
Nah, it's just selective morality. Just people just putting that energy in there. I got into a little argument with a blue check mark. I didn't really get in an argument. I just disagreed with what she had posted, and she came in with some crazy energy, and I just had to like kind of extinguish the conversation. Like, hey, God bless, enjoy your day. You know what I mean? People be thinking because they got a blue check mark, everything they post is right too.
That's true.
It's like, motherfuckers, get out of here. Y'all some weirdos.
Yeah.
Don't want to spend too much time on this.
Shout out to Rich Boy.
Yeah, shout out to Rich Boy. I hope he's doing at least 25% less drugs. You know, you know how they got like a diet version of, they got like Coors Light.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing like a light version of the heavy shit that he's working.
When we would stop joking on Rich Boy, if he drop a remix to the song and it's like Rich Boy Rehab, all the niggas deep bed.
You said what? Rehab?
Rich Boy Rehab. Yeah. If he go to rehab, then we'll stop.
I was like, what'd you say? God damn. Yeah. Rich boy getting his life together, getting off them drugs.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be like, all right.
I'll be like, yeah, I'll stop. Okay. No more jokes for me.
We got no reason to, unless the song is trash. She'd be like, we're glad you're going to rehab. That's a terrible remix. You should have got with Metro Boomin or something.
Metro Boomin.
Metro Boomin wants some more, nigga. He got like 2 tags.
Yeah.
If young
Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you. Yeah.
Beautiful. I think his biggest song, Metro's biggest song, was like, if a Metro don't trust you, I'm just beautiful morning.
Yeah.
Give me some of that morning, man.
Yeah. Sit in the water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was probably Metro's biggest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a couple of producers that really have some huge songs. But fuck all that. Let's switch gears. Switching gears. Recently, Steve Lacy. For those that need context, I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. That's Steve Lacy. Steve Lacy just did a live performance recently, about 5 days ago. And during that performance, matter of fact, fuck that. I'm going to go ahead and open the article. How about that? So you get it from the dragon's mouth.
There you go.
All right. Steve Lacy addressed the video showing him destroying a fan's camera after they appeared to throw at him. Shout out to the people not throwing disposable cameras at me, just coming to catch a vibe and connect. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. Well, they show the video here. Steve continues stating that he doesn't believe I owe anyone an apology. Maybe I could have reacted better. Sure, always. I'm a student of life, but I'm a real person with real feelings and real reactions. I'm not a product or a robot. I am human. He added, I will continue to give my all at these shows. Please come with respect for yourself and others. Please, thank you. Please, thank you. Love you. Right? But he took somebody's phone and he fucking crushed it, and then he walked off the stage. Right? I have a problem with Steve Lacy. And let me be very fucking clear. I guess Steve Lacy feels slighted because his song got bigger than him. Right? He's been doing music for a while, and he's a good artist. Don't get me wrong. Steve Lacy, good artist. I've heard a lot of his music. It's a vibe. It really is. But that song, I Wish I Knew You Wanted Me, or Bad Habit, excuse me. It's called Bad Habit. It's massive on TikTok. He's charted with that song. And a lot of people that know
like the #1 song in the country or something.
I think so, yeah. And people who love that song came to his concert. And when he sang that song, once he got past that part, a lot of them didn't know the lyrics to the song. And it kind of bothered him. And at one point at the live concert, he was singing a song, and then he switched it up, and he's like, all right, next song, right? As like a joke or something. You can't tell people how to support you. You can't get mad at people for not knowing your fucking songs. In fact, Mr. Lacy, what you should do is if you got a bunch of people who came to your song came to your concert from TikTok and bought the tickets, you could say, hey, a lot of you guys may be new here. If you don't know the lyrics, just clap along. That's what you could have did, Steve. Have you forgotten the times when you got 7 listens? Have you forgot about the people that are trying to build a fan base? These people paid money to go to your show. You need to show them some fucking respect. One girl said, hey, will you say hi to my mom? He's like, no, be quiet. Like, bro, you don't disrespect people that come to your show. I don't give a fuck how you feel, if they're casuals, whatever. They spent money to come see you perform. And in fact, if you feel they're casuals, then you could earn their respect and make new fans. Why would you get up there and act like, I'm going to say it. Steve Lacy got up there and acted like a pussy. You don't do that. You don't do that. That's disrespectful. You don't do that. You know, they start throwing shit at him, but a lot of that happened after he showed that he didn't want them there. You know, he probably feels like, I have people who've been listening for years, and you guys just fucking came from TikTok. And he popped a little attitude. This nigga was on his period up on the stage. Like, that's not okay. I totally disagree with it. And I think that if you don't like whatever said people come to support you, that's more of your problem. You need to find a way to deal with it. Before I toss it off to Keith, Larry June had a recent live performance. Somebody threw their merch on stage, which I thought they should have not done. And Larry looked down and said, yo, is this somebody's merch down here? And it was like, yeah, that's my merch. He's like, good job, merch. And he just kept performing, right? But it's Steve Lacy. This motherfucker just flipped out. That was inexcusable, man.
Yeah. I think that for Steve Lacy, he's a young guy. He's only 24 years old.
Yeah.
And I think that he's from the band The Internet. And he, Sid is the lead singer in the band, and she's kind of the one that, is, the one that people primarily know. And after the band started to kind of go their separate ways, he started to, release more solo music. And it looks like I don't even know if I've ever heard the song, but it seems like he caught one. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, like
after working for so many years. But it just seems like how they used to always talk about back in the day, like artist development, where, artists, they would be put through like mock interviews, and, they work on their presentation,
right,
and, their etiquette and all these different things. It's just, I guess what it seems like to me is that his star rose so fast that he wasn't, he may not necessarily be like, have the personality to handle such fame, or, he's taking his lumps in real life, so he's kind of, doing these things that may have been like on a smaller scale if he was an artist like developing, but he's doing this development in real time, and we're just kind of seeing that. And then also, like, some people are just weird. Like, I don't know. Yeah. He comes off, and I don't know him personally, but he has like a very eclectic, he
seems to be very eclectic.
Yeah, he just kind of has that personality to him. So I don't know. And he's like you said, he doesn't want to apologize for anything. And I don't know. I just think that what happens in those situations, it kind of turns you off as a fan, because I think for a lot of people, they're a fan of the song more so than they're a fan of like him as a human being. But that can easily like you see situations like the Baby, where he's not getting the same looks no more. Like he just released the album a few weeks ago, and it didn't sell as many records as most people thought. He's not getting the same playlist looks. He's not getting the same. He's not selling the same amount of tickets for live shows and stuff like that. And I think that's because people are turned off of him as a human being. So I think for a guy like Steve Lacy, I don't imagine he would come across this podcast. But if he do, or anybody that kind of looks up to him or wants to, reach a certain level of fame in terms of music, entertainment, podcasts, whatever type of social media, whatever, you just have to be. I think you gotta treat every person in that audience like they truly matter.
100%.
Especially
because they do.
Yeah, they're spending money to see you. They drive in sometimes. Who knows where the show is?
Right.
Like you say you got some fans going out there from Bakersfield. They drive in an hour and a half to see you, probably on a work day. You know what I mean? They might have got off of work, hopped on the I-5 and shot down to the show, and only to be disrespected. So I don't know. I think for us, the way we move, like, I genuinely appreciate anybody that has any sort of investment into what we do, whether they listen to the whole podcast, whether they only watch the clips on Instagram, whatever the case may be. I treat everybody with the same amount of respect.
Yeah. Oh, look here. Let me be very clear when I say this, especially when we get to the end. I say, hey, if you made it to the end of this podcast, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I mean that. You could be doing anything else. This is what a lot of these content creators, musicians need to understand, bro. There are so many other podcasts. There are so many other songs. There's so many other artists. They listening to you, though. There's 24 hours in a day, and they took however many minutes of their day to listen to your content. Can you please show these people respect? These people will be the very reason why me and Keith make it and make a huge break into the podcasting space. It's because of these people, the people that listen while they're commuting to work, or the ones that are telling their friends, or the ones that are like, yo, I found this podcast out of nowhere. These guys are great. Like, dude, you don't disrespect these people. Who the fuck are you? Who are you without these people? Can we be honest?
Yeah.
You could say, oh, they casuals, oh, they not real fans, they whatever. Bro, who the fuck are you without these people? Because they sure did buy those tickets and they sold out. That don't make no sense, dog. That just doesn't make sense. I don't see it. Because, see, I come from a time that when me and Keith first started, we was getting 5 listens, 6 listens in a week. In a week.
Numbers was low.
Super low. But me and Keith just kept going, kept going, and they just numbers kept going up, and they still going up. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is when you have respect, a way you really respect people too is by putting out your content and not doing it in a judgmental way, saying like, man, y'all only gave us 20 listens last week, man. Come on, y'all got to step it up. Like, who the fuck am I to tell you what to do? I'm not telling you how to consume this content.
It's up to me to gain your attention.
Thank you. That's
not
my
up
job.
To you to to be forced into it.
Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah.
Our YouTube ain't doing great, but that's okay. The numbers have been getting better lately, but it takes a while to build a following. You gotta be a person that you have to have the foresight to look 4 or 5 years down the line. That's success is not built over a night. You see what it's doing to this motherfucker. He been making music a while, but that song literally catapulted his career to the point to where these people are coming from TikTok.
Yeah.
They're like, I love that song. I wish I knew you wanted me. Is that what it's called, right? It's called Bad Habit. But they're like, I wish I knew you wanted me. It's a great song. They don't even give a fuck about what the song is called. And
so I think, what the thing that's tricky about that too is somebody is yearning for people to know 30 seconds of their song.
Hell yeah.
And out here disrespecting those people that. So I don't know. You just got, and I think for us too, like, it's one thing to say it, but it's one thing to like really be it. Because even for us, we got reached out to by Kamal and Frank. They asked us
to be
on their podcast. Eddie had to work.
Yeah.
So I just hit him up. I was like, yeah, man, like y'all been supporting us for a very long time.
Shout out to Think Tank Podcast, man.
Exactly. So so they reached out to me to do the podcast, and I was like, like, sure, I just did it. Like, I just did it just because, like, I knew they supported me. But when I got on there, they was just showing so much love.
Yeah,
I was just like, like, that's what it should look like for Steve Lacy.
100%.
But, if that was the same situation with Steve Lacy, he probably would have just, pushed it to the side and, whatever the case.
Here's the reason why everything Steve Lacy did was wrong. Post Malone is way bigger than him. At Post Malone's concerts, people be like, oh my God, he be taking people's phones, taking selfies of himself, taking pictures of people, FaceTiming motherfuckers in the stands. They mom, hey, what's up? I'm with your daughter right now.
Yeah.
He be interacting on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At a concert, he slipped, fell, and fucked his ribs up. And it's something else.
And he apologized to the fans.
And he apologized. He said, I'm so sorry, you guys. Yeah, I wish I could perform longer. And he was literally fucked up. He had to go to the hospital. And he's like, when I come back here, I'm going to rock even harder for you guys.
Yeah.
And people were like, it's okay, Post. We love you. Look at them comments on Post Malone shit. We love you, Post. We love you. It's okay. Get better.
Yeah.
Because he's managed to gain this following and keep it by being a decent person. And I'm gonna tell you something, dog, that it even took me by surprise. I figured, Post Malone has a pretty good singing voice. It's okay. He has an okay singing voice. Wrong. This nigga's singing voice got even better.
Yeah. He's been working on himself.
Man.
Working on the skills.
Remember that song, Return of the Mac? He remixed it. And he got up there when he was like, whoa. But he did it with like a deep singing voice. I was like, this dude got better singing. He's a respectful, loving guy. His fans love him. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to do it. Not with this Steve Lacy weird, you said eclectic. That's one way to define it. But eccentric is another way.
Yeah.
There's many different dictionary terms we could use for Mr. Lacy.
Yeah.
But I'll just call him a dick because you gotta do better than that, man. I pray for the day that me and Keith could look out and see 500 people. We could see 300, 500 people that came to a show to see us. It's like I literally might spend 2 hours hugging everybody. I swear to God, I might spend an extra hour and a half hugging people, taking pictures. I don't give a fuck how tired I get. You see what Kobe did? Kobe went to like a book signing, right? And at the end of it, it was people in there, and they said, all right, it's over. And then Kobe came back. He's like, hey, it's not over till I take a picture and sign everybody's stuff. This nigga Kobe stayed in there and got a picture with everybody and signed all their shit. And it was a gang of people.
Kobe is an athlete. He's not really, his success is not really predicated on like people showing up.
Yeah.
All he got to do is go play basketball.
Yeah. Kobe didn't have to do that shit. And you hear what his wife said? She said Kobe didn't take time off because, he did it for the fans. The people that came to see him that day, he didn't want to be off and hurt that day. So he always wanted to be there for the fans. Because his wife even mentioned, when he was a kid and he wanted to see Magic or certain players and they would be hurt, how it would be a letdown for him. So Kobe always wanted to be on the court, even when he wasn't healthy, for that kid that finally got to see him play. I'm like, yo, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Me and Keith pop up every week. Let me tell you something, dog. We can't underestimate what our value is to somebody listening to us. What if we missed one? We didn't miss a week. We did it late because Keith ruined it. He had COVID. But
no, God did.
God made Keith sit down for like half a week. But somebody was like, oh, man, I like listening to you guys Monday, man. Where's the podcast? I said, man, I apologize. Keith came down with COVID. But, some people like to start their week off, man, because they got two guys, 30s and late 30s and with objective opinions that bring comedy and, satire to a conversation. And they've invested in it. And what makes them invested in the show, and I'll just say it, I think what makes a lot of people invested in this podcast is how invested we are. When a motherfucker shows up every week for over 4.5 years, they know we're serious. So their ear to this podcast becomes a little more serious then.
Yeah.
We ain't took no gaps, man. We done been through some shit. I lost my dad, man. 2 months ago, my dad passed. Keith lost 2 of his uncles. We've been through shit like all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to shit on nobody else. We just have a passion that runs deep for this content, and we got to give it to you guys for us and for the listener. You had
That was
something?
deep, man. I didn't know what to say to follow that up.
You had something to say, and then you just
Nah, I didn't have nothing to say. I was
maybe it's the
listening.
wig, man. The fucking Goku.
Nah, this is Naruto.
It's Naruto.
Naruto,
See, I'm
she
not
pretty.
very nuanced in the.
That nigga Eddie don't know nothing about anime.
Man, I was born in '85, man. You know, back then when I was coming up, we had Thundercats. We
Yeah.
had fucking Voltron. We had Transformers. You know, we had a little bit of G.I. Joe. We had Ninja Turtles. We had that type of shit. I wasn't heavy into the anime. Now, your brother was for some reason.
Yeah, Desmond was on.
Yeah, he was on that shit. But you know, the whole, even the, I remember when Pokemon first started in America.
Yeah.
Pokemon first popped off in America in 97.
97.
I was in
That's crazy.
7th grade, and they was like, "Yo, I got this Pokemon." I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
I got a Game Boy Color at the crib.
Really? Mm-hmm. How old is it?
It's like a remodel or whatever. Like
The original Game Boy Color, that shit came out in like 95, 96. Because Game Boy only came in, it was blank. It not blank, but it was only like in black and green or whatever the fuck that
yeah,
color.
like a weird
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, back in the day, a popular title for that was like Home Alone was a big title. Home Alone and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then they start coming out with the color games. Yeah, man.
Oh, I think one of the things I was gonna say was the podcast for Kamal and Frank is the Magic Think Tank.
That's what I just
podcast.
said.
They said the Think Tank podcast. You said the Think Tank.
Oh,
podcast.
that's right. My bad. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah.
Just so when you looking it up, it's not the
Magic Think Tank
the
podcast.
Magic Think Tank. The Magic Think Tank.
Kamal
podcast.
the Black Seinfeld.
Yeah, Kamal got that afro.
Yeah.
He got a tall afro.
If you're looking for him and you find a light skinned nigga with a beard, that's him. that's Kamal. That's him. Yeah, man. So yeah, shout out to him and shout out to Byron too.
Shout out to Byron.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in quite some time. Well,
Yeah,
not
he
talked
pop-
to
he
him.
be popping
I
up
seen
in the
popping up
comments.
here and there. Yeah. Shout out to Byron,
Shout out
cool
to Byron.
guy. Because him at first it was Kamal and Byron had the podcast, and you know they was both showing love a long time, like
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is these niggas, man? You know, and then I was like, yo, these just some regular niggas showing love.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I think the thing about it that's kind of sad. I was kind of like, yo, who is these niggas, yo? But it's like, what do you expect?
This is people that like content.
This is people that like content, yo.
Niggas be weird when people show them love. Like,
Yeah.
who is this nigga? Yo, who is this nigga DMing me, man?
Yeah, who's this person liking me for? Why this person like me, son? But it goes to that's more of a reflection of you. You don't
Yeah.
feel like you deserve people liking what you do.
Yeah.
And that's your problem. You have to grow out of that and be like, hey man, these are some people that like the content. And you know, here's the thing about people like Kamal, you know, and Byron and his homie Frank.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about people like them that makes them genuine is the fact that they could look at us and be like, oh, these niggas ain't made it yet.
They don't have to support because we
Nah.
just regular dudes.
Yeah, but
yeah.
these niggas like, yo, we love y'all shit, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
showing us love. And the thing about it is when a person is able to look at you in almost in your infancy and they can see your growth in your content and they like what you do, that's big because most niggas don't wait until you blow up till they like you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I you know what's funny though? I remember when me and Desmond, more your brother though, when Desmond really found Drake. When Desmond found Drake early, he was like, hey, Eddie, man, this nigga named Drake. He dope. I was like, really? And then he's like, he just showed me a bunch of his music, and then he got me on Drake. We talking about 2008, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was 09 yet.
Yeah.
And then he came out with Best I Ever Had. That's when that nigga blew up. That's when it was over. From Best I Ever Had to like, you know, maybe a couple years ago, Drake was that guy. He ain't that guy no more. Drake, because that album he had, that whole thing was terrible.
Little dance hall thing.
Yeah. Boom, da, bing, da, boom, boom, da, bing, boom, da, bing, da, boom. And I took your daughter to the prom last night. She said that I could not be like that. I'm like, hey, man, you need to go to the light skin store and get repaired. I don't know what the fuck's going on. They need to keep that original receipt for Drake back in 2009 and get that Drake back. This is like refurbished Drake. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this guy. Yeah. Yeah, man. This album. If
Rich boys selling crack. All them haters want to check.
Oh, he doing a Rich Boy remake now? Oh man.
Throw some D's on it.
Throw some D's. Ha, Drake just be making any sound. Nobody's gonna correct Drake for what he does. Drake don't even sing. It's just noises. You notice that?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've never seen another human being sing like that. He harmonizes in the most weird way. His voice hasn't got better since 2009. It's the same voice. You see how I told you Post Malone got better at singing? You know, certain artists got better. T-Pain got better at singing. Gambino got better at singing. Drake, same old 2009 Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
Yeah. You know, you ever seen those memes that have been popping up with the little spirit package?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have Drake from 2009, same voice. Different haircut, just the beard added.
It was some funny ones on there. I can't think of them right now, but those things are funny.
Oh, yeah, they had one with Jimmy Garoppolo. That shit was funny as a motherfucker. Said handsome average quarterback package. Yeah, that nigga's terrible. Yeah, man. But, yeah, to summarize this conversation, we just jump way off. If you're a content creator in any capacity, podcaster, musician, rapper, whatever, be thankful for anybody who took a moment from their day, because we all got things going on. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to listen to anything you were working on. Make sure you thank them and you appreciate these people, because they ultimately are going to be the reason why you become successful in any capacity. Mm-hmm. Okay? All right, switching gears. On Halloween, some states take extra safety measures to keep sex offenders away from kids. Let me just go ahead and read the article. All right. Okay. Bam. Here it is. As people stock up on Halloween candy, some cities and states are imposing extra measures to make sure sex offenders don't answer when little ghouls and goblins knock on their door. In several states, including Georgia and California, some supervised sex offenders will not be allowed to have contact with kids under 18. With that in mind, law enforcement agencies are taking steps to Halloween to ensure sex offenders don't come near trick-or-treaters. I don't let my kids roam in the neighborhood alone on Halloween for many reasons, said Albany Wilkins of Indianapolis. I feel a little better knowing that sex offenders are under city watch that day. Once you've robbed a child of their innocence, I have no concerns for your feelings as an individual. Here's what some states and jurisdictions are doing. Conducting an evening home check. Okay, we don't need to read all that. Okay, here's the thing. I get it. I get it, okay? But I think kids should be supervised anyways. You shouldn't be out there just letting a motherfucking 5-year-old run with another group of 5-year-olds. They're going to end up at a Catholic priest's house. They be like, oh, God. So you're dressed up as a priest, huh? I can show you how to be a priest in my back room. You come in here. I have more candy inside. Like, it's weird, man. We gotta give
me 5 Hail Marys.
Oh, goddamn. Yeah, man. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You could be knocking on O.J. Simpson's door. He ain't a sex offender, but he will kill your motherfucking ass.
Yeah. I think about some of the stuff that we did as kids that is not acceptable in 2022.
Yeah.
Like, just even like playing outside. Like, you know, I don't have no kids, but I have like nieces and nephews, and I just don't imagine the way that we used to play outside, the way that we used to roam the city, that that would be okay for, you know, this younger generation. Yeah, but I think we had I think it was cool we did, man. We one of the last generations that really played outside. I don't see kids playing outside at all no more, man. It's kind of sad, to be honest. Yeah.
You know, we didn't just play outside. We went on like adventures. Yeah. And sometimes we did shit we should have not been doing. For sure. You know, you chilling with one of your cousins that come from out of town, and this nigga go throw a rock at a window and bust a window out. You be like, fuck, now we gotta run. I for sure have broken a couple windows. Like, God damn, why did Darnell from Los Angeles gotta keep coming down here? Yeah, Darnell was cool though. Yeah, he was always a cool kid. He had like some swag. Like, he'd be like, dang. He always had like the new toys that nobody had. New toys, new shoes, new clothes. Nigga had a Game Boy Color in 93 before it came out in 95. For sure, I had the Game Boy Color. Yeah, nigga had all the new toys and all that. He had sex before everybody. Yeah, nigga busting nuts in junior high. That's crazy. I wasn't even thinking about sex in junior high.
Some people's really having sex in junior. I was for sure thinking about sex in junior high.
Yeah, I mean a little bit like titties and shit. Like, but it wasn't like no major. Like I know people that was legit fucking.
Yeah, I knew I had the desire to do it, but I just didn't have the wherewithal to actually make it happen.
Yeah, man. Like when you a kid, basically.
Yeah.
You thinking about like the new episode of this motherfucking anime.
Yeah.
You know, you're not even like pussy ain't even on the horizon yet.
Yeah.
But I know this dude, man. Shout out to the homie. I don't even want to say his name like that, but he was getting pussy in the 8th grade and got his girl pregnant in 8th grade. Like at the end of the 8th grade year, she was already pregnant.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Before freshman year in high school, he already had a son, bro. You talking about 99. He my age. So that would make his son fuck. How old is his son now? Would that be 22? 23 years old? That's crazy, bro. He got a 24-year-old son. Yeah, I'm going to say, no, that's 20.
What was the kid be like? He had him when he was, what, 13?
Like 13, 14?
13, 14.
That's crazy, yo.
Man. That's a trip.
Man, they was already parents in high school from freshman year down.
Your life is just different.
It's just different, bro. Yeah. You always got a baby with you everywhere now, man.
Yeah.
Had the baby so young. It's a trip, bro. Him and his son look more like brothers than dad and son. I was like, damn, this nigga's son got a beard and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, yo?
You kind of like as a kid. I feel like you kind of reckless. So it's not even like you just. I think people need to wait to have sex just to be like, just have the mental capacity to make good decisions.
Yeah, man.
Because you 13 years old, you're not worried about no condom. You done took sex ed maybe, but you're not really worried about wearing no protection. You just having sex.
Yeah, bro. Terrible.
And it ain't even good sex. It's just kind of like busting nuts in 2 seconds.
Yep. Yeah. Let's get back on task, Keith. Yeah, man. Yeah, they trying to protect the kids from motherfuckers. These pedophiles, man. And I get it. You know. And truth be told, we probably all got candy from pedophiles and didn't know it. You know, we probably woke up a little dizzy the next day, like, wow, that candy was so sweet. Like, nigga, that was fentanyl. That wasn't that wasn't Skittles, man.
Why is my butt sore?
Every year when I go to Mr. Wilkins' house, my butt hurts. Mom, she's like, oh, Mr. Wilkins is a very nice man. You find out 20 years later, this nigga was a pedophile. They be like, it's okay to speak, Jimmy. It's like, I'm fucking 40 now. I told you when I was 3. What the fuck? Trying to tell you about this nigga, man.
Oh, man.
He was a booty snatcher back in 92.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think that's important though, because it's just like you said, it's a different world now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I wonder what has changed. Probably the internet in terms of like what a pedophile looked like years ago versus now. Like, I'm sure there's guys that are on Instagram and Facebook and stuff that are like contacting these younger girls through.
Oh, man. Look here, homie. Back in the day, I can tell you straight up. Back in the day when I was in high school, it was grown-ass men coming to the campus picking up high school girls.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, it'd be a dude like 27, 25, and they coming to pick up their 16-year-old girlfriend after school. Grown-ass man.
27 picking up 16?
Bro, I'm telling you, I used to see niggas with full beards coming to BHS picking girls up. And I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's weird. I used to know motherfucking grown-ass men at the bus stops, at the Get Bus terminals. Because back when I was like in high school and a little bit in college, I took the bus. I see grown-ass men at the bus stop waiting for high school girls. Mind you, these dudes at this time had to be like 25, 26. And they fucking 15, 16-year-old girls. This is like 2006, 2005.
Dang.
Yeah.
Why don't you say nothing?
I was a fucking kid. What the fuck am I going to do?
You can say something.
Man, I wasn't in the mind space. I wasn't in the head space. I was just like, these niggas weird. That was my...
That's as far as it went.
That's as far as it went.
Yeah.
But now I'd be like, hey, man, you need help.
You get out of here.
Now I call the police.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, man, you got some motherfuckers over here talking to these girls, man. You need to get them out of here. You know? But you know the sick thing is it be dudes like that be like, shit, she might be 16, but her body is not. You be like, what the fuck did that mean?
Yeah.
She look like a grown woman to me. I'm
That
like, bro,
sound crazy.
you can't just give motherfuckers what do you call that? They can't identify as an 18-year-old when they fucking 16.
Trans age.
Yeah, you can't trans age a motherfucker. That's a 15-year-old girl, you sick fucker. Yeah. But yeah, you heard about all these stories that happened years ago. Candy with razor blades in it and shit.
Yeah.
I just read an article from Arizona in 2016. Somebody put a motherfucking razor blade in a Snickers bar. Mm-hmm. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I'd have been disappointed.
Oh man, I'd have been like, man, especially a Snickers bar. Mm-hmm. Man, I done sliced my tongue up for that.
Yeah.
Snickers is all right though.
That's like some prison stuff too.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like they what do you call that? Give the Snicker to Leroy at 5 p.m. He's been talking shit, eh? Give it to Leroy.
That black fool. Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him. He's eating it, fool. Look at him.
Oh! Get this Snicker to Leroy.
Leroy like, fuck, man. Oh, fuck. Yeah, man. That's some prison shit right there.
Yeah. Get a Snicker to Leroy.
No. If it was in prison, it'd be different. They'd be like, give that Snicker to Leroy, but tell him it's the one without peanuts. He has a peanut allergy, eh?
He has a peanut.
Leroy be like, it sure is good. Hey, there's peanuts in here. Somebody help. Guard.
This is a Cold War in there.
Yeah, it's terrible, man.
Peanuts, that's crazy.
Yeah, keep the peace, man. Mm-hmm. That's insane. Yeah, but hey, you guys be safe on Halloween, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your kids
Scary
safe.
out there.
You know what's ironic? It's funny how, like, probably a year ago, people was like, it's a social distance. It's still COVID out here. And all of a sudden now, everybody trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
I knew everybody was going to forget about COVID.
Yeah.
You going to niggas' houses and shit now with no mask on.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, everybody going to keep getting COVID, bro. It's just like, man, just fuck it. Mm-hmm. Fuck it, man.
Yeah.
You know, let your little kid, let Ryu and Ken and the Ninja Turtles, everybody going to get COVID now. Mm-hmm. They got COVID on their candy probably now. These motherfuckers breathing on shit.
Yeah.
And don't worry, you're going to get COVID from China too. Because all them little outfits y'all bought, the little Naruto, they've been breathing in them boxes. They breathing over all that shit. And they just sending COVID in a box.
Yeah. They
shipping it Amazon Prime like a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wonder what it looked like because last year at our house, nobody came by.
Really?
So yeah, I wonder if that was just because of like
COVID.
COVID still. So I wonder what it would look like this year.
I don't know. Well, I'll be at work, so I don't know. What I might do though, is I might put a bucket up there. Mm-hmm. I might put a bucket of candy out there if I happen to give a fuck, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. But you know, I hate kids. No, I'm playing. Kids are cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I put a sign up that said no candy, and motherfuckers kept knocking.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, you know niggas can't read.
Yeah, it was kids. It was adults and kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, none of y'all niggas can read? It's a big sign that said no candy.
Yeah.
Mom standing out there. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
I was like, look, the mom could come in. Everybody else got to stay outside.
I got some candy for you, Mom.
Oh, it's like, I want some black candy.
I got some black candy.
That sounds like one of those blacked episodes.
Yeah.
It'd be like, on the next Blacked. For anybody that doesn't know what Blacked is, it's a
just Google it.
Just if you Google Blacked, don't do it around people. I guess it's just a genre of porn. Yeah. These like innocent, regular looking women that are having sexual relations with these black dudes that have like a baseball for a penis.
You mean a baseball bat?
Yeah, like a baseball bat for a penis.
Yeah, the Louisville Slugger.
They'd be like, Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck is this? How is this person human?
You know what I tripped out on one day? I was watching like porn, I guess, and like I looked at the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And what I realized is the thumbnail was like a picture.
Uh-huh.
So oftentimes the thumbnail be like a sexual act.
Right.
But I was like, yo, he really posed with his dick inside her, and like she made like a scrunched up face. You know what I mean?
Wow, like it's like the production purpose.
Like it's not the video. It's really like
picture.
imagine if a photographer is okay. Yeah, Daquan, stick your dick in it right there. Okay. All right, Leslie, just raise your foot up that a little bit. There you go, Leslie. Yeah.
Act like it really hurts bad. It does hurt. Porn is hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get how people get porn addictions. I think if you could watch porn recreationally, which is like obviously not all the time, you're just a normal person, like a casual porn watcher.
Yeah.
But some people they got a real problem, bro.
They
got a problem, bro.
You ever? Some people do it like in public, like it'd be so bad. And they
that's
watching it in public.
Yeah, that's weird, man. You shouldn't watch none of that shit.
Yeah,
you doing that. That's
sometimes
insane.
like remember when the car TVs came out?
Yeah, people would have them in the
watching
headrest
porn and you got to literally put a DVD in there.
You got 4 TVs, ain't nobody sitting in the back.
That's crazy.
A big old monitor of somebody just sucking dick, and you in a Walmart parking lot with videos of people sucking dick on there. That was a wild time, bro.
That was weird.
That was like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
When everybody was buying the same Lexani rims. Everybody had the same Lexani rims.
Yeah.
What was the other one that 50 Cent shouted out on his
Giovanni rims?
He's like some Giovanni rims. Then everybody got them fucking Giovannis.
Giovannis.
And back in
low pros.
Back in the day, it was Spreewells for a little bit.
Spreewells, but everybody had the fake Spreewells.
Yeah. Remember for a little bit, AutoZone was selling the fake spinners?
Yeah.
AutoZone had the
hubcap
spinners. I'm like, nigga, why the fuck would you put that on your car?
I seen niggas had Hondas with the spinners on there.
Back in the day, 3-6 had that song. I'm riding spinners. It don't stop. I'm riding spinners. And they rolling. And then I seen somebody from AutoZone come out and the rims, the hubcap spinning, but one of them stuck. I'm like,
that was all bad when the little lubrication. Like it just stopped working, and then like 2 of them work, and then the other 2 don't work.
If you don't spray some WD-40 on that shit,
and
get that shit back spinning, boy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy time.
Was that? And I'm sometimes you hear things as a child and you just run with it, and it don't actually be true, but you be believing it your whole life. But did Latrell Sprewell have something to do with the actual?
Yeah, I think them was his rims, yo.
Okay, yeah, that's what I always heard, but I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, I'll look it up now to verify.
That's almost like I'm gonna say he lucked into it.
Latrell Sprewell rims. The history of Latrell Sprewell. It says Supreme Spinner shoes, but fuck all that. Who created Sprewell rims? In 2003, David Folks was issued United States patent for free spinning wheel patent. When David Folks could not get a booth in Los Angeles car show, he asked Latrell Sprewell to allow him to showcase them there in his booth. So it ain't Latrell Sprewell, it's somebody else.
That's what I'm saying.
He just used Latrell as the face.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how business works. I
remember them Sprewell shoes, though. Them motherfuckers,
shoes?
They didn't last very long.
Yeah.
They didn't last very long.
They lasted as long as the real rims.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a very strange time. But yeah.
That whole era of shoes was kind of weird, like with the Dadas. And
yeah, it was a weird time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the funny thing when you was talking about porn, what I don't like violence in my porn, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like a dude would be hitting it or something, and he'd just slap her in the face. I'm like, hey, man. That's not right. That's domestic violence. I got to turn this off.
Yeah.
I like peaceful porn. I don't like I don't need no violence in my porn, man. I don't need no degrading of women. You like that bitch? I'm like, nah, we ain't doing this. You ain't calling her the B word, man. We ain't doing that.
That's crazy.
I only watch free range porn, man. I don't watch
free range porn.
I only watch grass fed porn.
Yeah, you got green porn.
Yeah, I watch the very liberal porn. No, actually, that's a lie because I couldn't last watching no very liberal porn. They'd be like, "That's right, respect her body and her decisions,
body positivity,
Let her like positively suck your cock." Like, Don't like put your hand on her head or anything. Like it should all be completely consensual.
Make sure you ask 2 times to confirm if you're going to stick your dick inside of her.
Don't kill animals. Like don't do anything inhumane that you shouldn't be doing. I'm
a vegetarian and I'm a vegan, but I also like to swallow. So it's kind of a conflict of interest, but I still do it.
It's a conflict of interest because I'm vegan and my boyfriend eats Big Mac. So it's kind of like I'm eating like a Big Mac. Like, why do very liberal women talk like that?
I don't know.
Like very, 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 very. You know what? It's a double thing. It's like either very liberal or from Los Angeles. Those are the 2 voices you get. Mm-hmm. Those are the 2 voices you get.
Yeah.
They'll be like honestly, I feel like when you hear that, you know they about to say some bullshit.
Yeah, I hate that. I feel like,
and he'd be like, well, no. What's the facts? I mean, I feel like, I'm like, no, what are the facts behind what's about to come out your mouth? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm trying to tell you. Okay, go ahead and tell me. What is your research? I feel like, you're like, oh my God.
You got to get out of there.
I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I wish I had some Nickelodeon slime to pour on your motherfucking head right now.
I feel like a Treacherous Mind podcast is just so toxic. They hate women.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Why don't you validate my feelings? Shut your dumb ass up. Validate these nuts.
I feel like Eddie all the time, he like invalidates women, and like I think he beats them, and I think he has like women in his basement hiding them for some reason, and like he always like comes out mad at us for some reason. You'd be like, baby, you ain't never listened to an episode of this shit.
Yeah,
man. I've seen a couple posts and I'm like, come on now. It'll be like, because me, I'm the type of person now, I was the very liberal person that would just like kind of think with the hive a little bit, you know, and I would be saying shit not realizing what I was really saying years ago. But now, you know, I'm objective. I can think for myself. Like I'll say something like, honestly, I think Trump's a fucking idiot, but I feel like he's made a lot of sense with certain things he said. They'd be like, oh my God, if you're conservative, just say that.
Yeah.
If you're conservative, just say it. Like, don't even hide it anymore. Like, you changed, Eddie. You changed. I'm like, no, you just live in an echo chamber, Kimberly. Okay?
Yeah.
That's your fucking problem, not mine.
Yeah.
It's like, totally, I really feel like everybody should be vegan. They should, like, outlaw meat and, like, oh, this is the one that kills me. They should, like, totally take podcasts away from men. Like, men should not be allowed to have podcasts anymore. It's like, what the fuck are you talking? I've heard that on TikTok. It's like, girl.
Some men should not have podcasts.
Yeah, why? Because they suck?
Not even because they suck. Like, I wouldn't judge them in good or bad, but I just think that there's, like, a very toxic, like, like that hyper masculine type of podcast.
That fresh and fit, sneako type shit. Yeah,
what they call the red pill.
Yeah, the red pill shit. A lot of these men that are in that red pill shit. A lot of them was nerds at one point that couldn't get pussy and they hated women, and now they get a little bit of status. Yeah, and they turn into these dudes that are hyper aware. Yeah. But they shit on women though. I don't really count them, man.
I'll just tell a woman. You know, I just slide in her DMs. I tell her, hey, if you want to come hang out, let's come hang out. You get some dick and you can leave. You just be like, this is like a version of you, like, post, like, a little bit of notoriety.
Right. You can't do that type of shit as a regular clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, the guys from Fresh and Fit, man, I won't completely invalidate them. I think they've made some great points for men. But the way that they disrespect women, I'm not with that. I feel like you could be a decent dude and still respect women.
Yeah.
Right? These motherfuckers will be like, look here, bitch, you don't get to tell me what I do. I am a high value man. I am the prize. So when I'm the prize, it's like, dude, shut your
they're only bringing like OnlyFans girls on there.
They're bringing low dwelling dumb women on the panel. They don't really bring sharp women on there because if the woman has a, you know, objective and like more educated background, she's gonna be able to like push back on what they say. And they've had like maybe like 2 girls I've seen that popped up, like I seen on TikTok, and all the rest of them is just like airheads, and it's like, man, and honestly, it's very oversaturated, their platform. They've ran out of shit to already talk about quite a while ago.
You can only show so many arguments. Yeah, OnlyFans chicks.
You see Academics how he acted. He was
wild.
He was disrespecting one of the girls for no reason, and she got under his skin. She was like, I got way more money than your man. He was like, but he could fuck me better than you can. And then he said something else.
Man, my homie was giving you long strokes. I paid for the Airbnb. I could pull up the receipt. I was like, yo, just
Shut
chill
the fuck
out,
up, academics.
It's like,
and then she told him something like, why don't you lose some weight so you can see your dick, nigga?
Dang.
And then everybody was laughing at him, and he was like, you know what? I'm the prize. No, shut the fuck up. And it's like, you're in your feminine, brother.
You're in your feminine.
He was. And here's why. I think as a man, when you have any issue with a woman, I think it's important at that moment to kind of not shut yourself down, but just try to listen to see if what she says makes sense. And then if what she says make no sense and she's yelling and screaming and tripping out, you don't yell and scream and trip out. You say, hey, look, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. We don't gotta yell. Let's talk about it. We could talk. That's okay, right? Because what happens is when you start going blow for blow with women and you're yelling at them, they notice that you're in your feminine. Because, see, when they yell and scream at women and they yell and scream at each other, that's what women do. Men should not be yelling and screaming and disrespecting women. I'm sorry. If you caught yourself yelling and screaming, here's the thing. If you catch yourself and you stop, fine. But if you're the nigga that's always arguing and yelling, that's feminine energy. It really is. How many times have we seen an example? Shut up, man. I don't care about that. How about you do this? How about you do this? Yeah. Always yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
That's not only is that toxic, that's real feminine, yo.
I wouldn't even call that feminine energy. I think that's just like nonsense. Yeah. It's just like out of character type. Like you're just out of control of your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're out of control of your emotions, like that's the least masculine thing you can be.
But what I'm saying is that's like unnecessarily like disrespectful to like the feminine, like just women, I guess. Like it almost just makes it seem like all women are like that. And women do be getting like in that mode, but that's like, that's OD for a woman. Like for him to be acting like that, yelling at women in that capacity.
Yeah, but I think male and feminine things exist. So if a woman's in her masculine, then she more or less like if she make more money than you, she probably feel like you less valuable or whatever the case, whatever the toxic traits of a woman being in her masculine. Or a woman like, I don't need no fucking man for shit. I don't need you. I don't need that. I don't need that. That's masculine energy. That's a turn off like a motherfucker. I'm not saying you need me, but for the fact that you feel like you got to try to flex on me, you could get the fuck on. I don't need you here anyways, right? But if you're a guy and you constantly like, who is that guy? Who is that guy that you lied about? What is he doing over here? Why you keep lying to me? You in your feminine. You are in your motherfucking feminine. And I'm telling you, because I've been a nigga that's been in his feminine before. And I didn't realize I was in it till years later. Like, yo, that was wild. But you know what happens when you do that shit? Women don't respect you at all. At all. They'll be like, he was crying, talking about what was I doing over there? You ever heard women uncut talking about a dude?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. Like, he was all mad. He was all fussy talking about how did I know that guy and all this shit. Like, he just needs to stop acting like a bitch. I've heard women say this. Even the best women will get tired of a dude when that dude is in his feminine. Because you ain't supposed to be there when you're a dude. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it. You know? I'm human. I've had some moments I'm not proud of, but you learn like, hey man, you got to be the dude that got to have a cool head. You can't be motherfucking screaming back and forth. Who was that person? You know.
Yeah. Why are you talking to DeAndre at midnight?
Hey bro, it's a TikTok that you got to see. I forgot what it's called, but it was this dude. They was in class, and it was other dude. They was like, so like, are you talking to Shelly too? And he was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, and I guess it was the dude, the nerdy simp dude that liked the girl, but it was some other dude that was like a Chad that was in class that was also talking to the girl he liked. And then this nigga literally looked at the dude, the Chad that had the girls, and he was like, dude, why you keep talking to her, man? Why you keep talking to her? And it went viral, and it was hilarious.
Oh, this is real life.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a skit.
It's a real TikTok, yeah. The dude was like, he's like, are you talking to Emily too? He was like, oh yeah, I'm talking to Emily too. You know, the real cool niggas is getting a lot of pussy.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm talking to her too. He's like, why you keep talking to her for, man? Why you keep talking to her for? He was crying.
He in the friend zone. He don't even know it.
Bro, he's super in the friend zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is a sad thing a lot of men don't get. There are grown-ass men that get mad about the friend zone. That's your fault. That's not the woman's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You got to value your own time. If you end up in a friend zone, you did that to yourself, sir.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah. Sometimes I just be like false hope. Dudes be just
exactly.
thinking that something is gonna happen when it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's your fault because you don't value your own time, because you think that hanging around a woman that's lukewarm on you, all of a sudden she going to heat up and now she your lady. That ain't how it works. The first couple minutes a woman see you, they know if they want to fuck you or not. That's the first thing women look at. They know within minutes, not even seconds. By the time they meet you and you shake their hand, hey, my name is Eddie. You know, I just wanted to introduce myself. They know in 20
She either
seconds.
moist or dry down there.
She's like, oh, I suck his dick. Women, that's how they think. They can say, no, we don't. Yes, you do. You know within seconds if you want to fuck somebody. The same way men know. First of all, before you even approach them, women in their mind, they're like, oh, I would fuck him. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And if you'll do this in the friend zone, she's decided that she didn't want to fuck you a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So you ain't getting no pussy. You ain't getting no affection. You ain't getting nothing but friend vibes.
Yeah.
I've seen dudes so deep in the friend zone. She was like, they'd be like, oh, hey, friend. How you doing, friend? Mm-hmm. And this nigga don't get it. Like, man, I'm telling you, dude, she's going to break, dude. She's going to break, man.
I'm just going to wait it out, dude.
She's going to wait it out, man.
Yeah, just be there for her. I know she's dating Taekwon right now, but I'm just going to be there for her when Taekwon breaks her heart.
Like,
Why are you still talking to her? Why are you talking to Emily?
Well, you keep fucking her, man. Stop fucking her, man.
Just gotta let it go.
Yeah, you got. I've really seen that shit happen. Like dudes, it'd be a dude that's smacking some girl. All he doing is fucking her, and it's a dude that's really liking this girl, and she's like, "Look, I just don't want to deal with it right now, David. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Like, we're just friends. That's all we are." He's like, "I know, but I have feelings for you, you know, and I really like you. You know what I'm saying? Taekwon doesn't want you. He doesn't like you the way I like you.
Yeah.
You know, I know you're pregnant, but like I could be the father. He doesn't even want to be the father.
I know his hair is going to be a little nappy, but I can still take care of him. I can watch YouTube videos." I remember on my football team, this dude was dating this girl, and I don't know in what capacity he was talking about his girlfriend. He might have been saying like, oh, this weekend I'm gonna go, go hang out with my girl and stuff like that. And then her name came up in some capacity. It says her name was like Ashley.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, my girlfriend Ashley, like, we've been together for a couple years now. Like, I think we're going to go to that party this weekend. And he was like, and then one of the other teammates, he was like, Ashley who? And it was like, I don't know, so her name was like Ashley McAllister.
Yeah.
It's like, Ashley McAllister. Like, Ashley McAllister? Like, and then I don't know what capacity or how it happened, but the other dude was like, yo, I just smacked her last weekend.
Whoa.
And he was just like, he didn't react in that moment. He was just kind of like, he kind of played it cool. But the other dude that smacked him was like, yo, I didn't even know that was you. Because we teammates. Like, we all on the same football team. But he's like, yo, I didn't even know that was your girl. Like, I feel bad, bro. Like, yeah, I smacked. She had some good, you know what I'm saying?
Was one of them out-of-town black dudes?
Nah, it was an in-the-town black dude.
Imagine if you apologize, but you're not really sincere. You'd be like, man, I didn't even know, man. She had some good pussy, man.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm sorry, bro.
Nah, it'd be those niggas with the accents. Nah, Shotty had some good head, folk.
Damn. Man, I didn't mean to do that, bro. I was hitting from the back and everything, man. I didn't even know that was your girl like that. Her sloppy toppy was ridiculous, dude. Damn, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Nah, bad. That's bad. I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
I had situations where back in the day we went to like house parties in college.
Yeah.
And then we would have like numbers, like we have big, like massive text messages with like 4 or 5 people in it.
Yeah.
We texting each other, whatever, like that, like group text. Mm-hmm. And it had a party or whatever, or I would meet some chick like in class or out on campus, and she would tell me where a party was at. And I was like, are you going to be there? She's like, yeah, I'm there right now. And if she send me like some blurry picture of her ass, and I'd be like, oh, nigga, I got to go.
Yeah.
We got to go to that party.
Yeah.
She just sent me a 1 megapixel ass picture, man.
1 megapixel.
We talking about this 2005, 2006.
Dang, that's crazy.
Back then, that megapixel was clear, bro.
Yeah.
She sent me an MMS booty pic, man.
Multimedia message.
I sent her a text message. I used that, the TTYL, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to send her a predictive text message back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Niggas was for sure sending the news early.
Yeah, that pixelated booty looking fire. Man, I've been to so many house parties that got shot up back in the day.
Oh man.
Oh, I used to run for my life, dog.
Really?
Oh my God. It was one that was so bad. And I'm gonna go into quick story mode before we move on, because we totally went off topic anyways. But it was one house party I went to off a monitor. And back then, it was a lot of house parties, but there was some shit going on off the monitor back in the day. And we went to this house party, and I seen a couple people I knew, and I was like, oh, what's up, man? And then it was some shots coming, like a bunch of like, ka, 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 ka. So I took off running down the sidewalk, running full speed. And you know how sidewalks aren't smooth. They kind of dip down for driveways. So I'm running, trying not to fall, and I see this girl, bro. This girl's walking towards me as I'm running full speed down the sidewalk. This is 21-year-old Eddie McGee, right? I'm running full force, and I just completely floored this girl. I knocked
her over?
Oh, man, I knocked the shit out of that girl. I, hit her so hard, I ran through her, dog. And she could not have been that big. Yeah. But I didn't even give a fuck, nigga. I just kept running. I just kept running.
You cold.
Yeah, and I didn't. One of the homies like, man, you knocked that girl down, man. I was like, fuck, she should have been running too.
Dang.
I knocked her down, man. I felt so bad afterwards, but at the moment, I didn't care. It was about survival. Yeah. So it was fight or flight. Yeah. And I wasn't gonna fight. But you hear the bullets going off, man. Bow, 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 bow. Somebody got shot up too.
Somebody got hit?
It was on the news.
God damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I had some fresh Reebok classics on. They was like white and blue. And I had ran so far away from the party, I ended up in a field. Yeah. And I had dirt all over them motherfuckers.
They wasn't classic no more.
Wasn't classic no more.
This was vintage.
They vintage. They look like a homeless person had them on in New York.
Those parties back in the day, I can remember we was leaving a party somewhere by West High School. Oh yeah. And that's dangerous. Some dude was just, I don't know if he was just doing it for fun or what, but he was walking outside, and me and my boys leaving the party, and he's trying to shoot in the air.
Oh my God.
Trying to let off some rounds in the air, and it was jammed. So it was like click, 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 click. And then we walking and we like, what the heck? So we kind of skirt, it didn't look like he was trying to shoot at nobody, but at the same time, it looked like he was just trying to disrupt the function. Yeah. So we just kind of ran, but finally he got it jammed and he was just letting them off. And then we just ran around the corner and just hid behind the car. And it was just you just say that just happens so regularly.
This is why it's important to not go to clubs or house parties, because you got a bunch of disruptors. All they want to do is disrupt. They don't want to have a good time. They just out there they want to cause a stir. It's some dudes that go to the club just to fight back in the day. Yeah. I had a motherfucker step on my foot so bad one time, but then I turned around, he had 7 dudes with him. I was like, yo, I told the homie, I was like, hey man, let's get out of here. Because I'm like, if I stay here and I address this dude hey man, why'd you step on my foot like that? He be like, I'm sorry. Hey, it is what it is, dog. Well, you want to do something about it? And it's they just looking, they're yeah, remember that black dude that tried to pop off? We beat him up. Yeah. That's what people do. They go out to look for trouble, man. They don't go out to have fun. Yeah. You got these beautiful women in the club. Back in the day, I don't want to drag this on no more, but back in the day, we had a club called Cabana Palms back in 2007, 8, right in there. That shit was cracking. It was the actual best nightclub ever in Bakersfield back then. It was a new real nightclub scene, and they had the VIP. Me and a couple of homies went and bought VIP, got some bottles. It was dope, man. There's a lot of girls in there. The vibe was good. Everything was good. It was a really good club. That's one of the few times back in the day I had a lot of fun at clubs. It was cool. But you still had knuckleheads that get in there and fight, you know? And then a couple years later, I did a little bit of bouncing. So between being a club goer and actual being a bouncer, I would never go to a fucking club.
Oh, never again.
Yeah, you don't want that pussy in there anyways.
Yeah,
you don't want it. Trust me. If a girl go to the club every weekend, she's a hoe. I'm sorry. Every weekend. And people are not going to like that statement. But this is true for men too. If a man go to the club every week, he's a hoe because he's fucking girls in that club. So is that woman. She can say, I'm just going to dance with my friends. I'm not going to have sex with anybody. I just have a good time. No, you a hoe. Trust me, I'm a bouncer. And you end up not cohabitating or dealing with people eventually. And it be hella diseases passing around in them clubs. It's straight syphilis and fucking everything being passed around. That shit is nasty. Yeah, I knew this girl that was fine as hell. And I was about to talk to her. I promise you, I was about to talk to her. And then some girl that I know came up to me and said, hey, Eddie, I just have to tell you, you shouldn't talk to that girl because I have a friend that works at the clinic and she has gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, what?
It's supposed to be confidentiality. You can't be spreading my business.
I'm glad she told me that the girl had gonorrhea because I was trying to fuck.
Dang.
I would have been a gonorrhea having motherfucker.
You've been gonorrhea.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you work, I would have wore a condom, but still, you know, that's nasty though, man.
Yeah. You don't want that.
You don't want that. Well, switching gears. And this is an unfortunate conversation to have. After 2-year decline, suicide rates rise again for men. This is a sad conversation to have, but I just want to give my take on that. Here we go. Suicide rates fell in 2019 and 2020. Experts are concerned that the uptick last year may represent a return to normal. The number of people who died by suicide rose from 20 to 21 following a brief period of decline, according to provisional data released Friday from the National Center for Health Statistics. It's a sign, experts say, that suicide rates are inching back up to levels seen before the pandemic. In 21, 47,000 people in the United States died by suicide, up to 45,979 in 2020. That's an increase by 4%. There have been a hope among experts that suicide rates have perhaps peaked in 2018 after steadily rising for nearly 2 decades. Numbers fell slightly in both 2019 and 2020. The reasons for those declines are unclear, said Julie Carrell, director of Suicide Prevention and Exposure Laboratory in Kentucky. In 2019, some changed. Okay, skip all that. Despite stress associated with the pandemic, suicide rates did not increase in 2020. So basically right now we're at in 2022, they've rise. It's just a bunch of fucking stats here. Suicide rates have increased for men ages 24 to 44 as well as 65 to 74. While men have historically been more likely to die by suicide than women, the report zeroed in another alarming trend: suicides in middle-aged girls, schoolgirls. It's just terrible. Here's the thing, man. Suicide for anybody is terrible, but in regards to men doing it, it's at alarming levels in 2022. I want to say this to all the men out there, because they got the feminist movement for women, but they don't have anything for men. And, you know, people think that men just got it so good. Like we're so high on the hog and we got it all figured out. Evidently we don't, because we're taking our own lives. And that shit needs to stop. And what I will say right here is, before you take your life on a temporary situation or a temporary emotion, you know, let's focus on bettering ourselves, right? Let's trim that beard up. Let's go to the barber. Let's go read some books. Let's go to therapy. You know, if you're a single guy, you know, let's get to the gym. Let's work on ourselves. You know, let's go get some pussy, man. If you're a single guy, if you got a girlfriend and she's your fiance, put a ring on her finger. Let's be somebody's father. You know, let's be a dad. Let's be a leader. You know, let's go out and let's go out and get that car that we always wanted to get. Let's put the top down and go to the beach. You know, let's live, man. Let's live. Let's live life. You know, I'm advocating for men to keep their lives, man, because for some reason it's like no one really wants to talk about it. You know, they talk about suicide prevention and they got a hotline and this and that, but we need to advocate for men. We really need to do it. But society, and especially very progressive society, for some reason feels like men don't deserve attention. Think about it. Most things that are progressive are for women. It's not for men. Nothing. Men are killing themselves, man. And the number keeps going up. I have a problem with this. I feel like it's important, because eventually it could be your son. Ladies, any ladies out there with sons? I think it's important that you look at this before your son becomes a man. He's going to deal with things. He's going to go through things. And I think it's important that you instill these things. And I'm not saying women don't instill these things or whatnot, but it's a lot of things men don't like to talk about. It's a lot of things men like to keep inside, which also causes the suicide. Fellas, let's make sure we talk to somebody. Everybody's not going to know what you're going through. You got to speak up too, to let people know what you're going through. Mm-hmm. Certain people, not everybody, because you tell the wrong friend, they'll be like, "Oh man, shut up, dude." Mm-hmm. Let's get out there and get some help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a real thing, and anybody that has dealt with any type of emotion, I'm sure, all kind of thoughts have crossed your mind, whether hurting somebody or hurting yourself or whatever. But I think just leaning on the fact that there's a lot of life to live out there, and these rough patches in life are only temporary. Mm-hmm. There's something on the other side of that pain is going to be like some of the most fulfilling times of your life, and that sharing, I think, like you were talking about earlier, is so important. Like when this a lady called me today, and she was telling me about like some issues that she had with her daughter, and I didn't realize, like, she got like very emotional on the phone.
Right.
But you don't realize like how important it is just to be like a listener.
Yes.
There's this company that I think it's like a nonprofit, and the company is called Are You Okay? And basically, I think it started because this guy's dad took his own life, and I don't know what the company actually does. I'm not super familiar with what goes into like their day-to-day operation, but just part of their slogan is just like checking in on people, like genuinely asking people like, "Are you okay? How are you doing?" And I think that doesn't happen a lot. Like we and I get it because our lives are like, it's intense. Like, there's a lot of our communities are very large. It's almost impossible to check in on everybody on a day-to-day basis. But there's some people that you may have not talked to in a long, long time, and that phone call or that text message or that sending them that funny video, whatever the case may be, could be the thing that really like shifts the momentum in their life. So I think it's just important to to keep tabs on genuinely how everybody's doing out there.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what's important too, man, is being on the other end, like you mentioned. For me, I've been on the phone with somebody and they told me that they wanted to take their life. Mm-hmm. And I responded with like, "Hey, man, don't you ever fucking say that again.
Yeah.
Don't you ever tell me that again." He's like, "I know, man. I said, "Hey, dude, listen to me. Don't you ever fucking tell me that again." And I told him, like, "Man, what you got to limit your kid, man? You got all this stuff. Bro, think about all the people you would hurt if you did something like that." Mm-hmm. Not to mention that you valuable. You valuable to me. You valuable to your kid. You valuable to the world. To take your life over something while you have this temporary emotion will be inconvenient for you and everybody else that loves you. You're going to hurt. When you take your life, you're going to hurt people you didn't think would be hurt. Mm-hmm. You gotta, man, you have to realize that you hurting more than yourself. Mm-hmm. And I know life get hard at times, man. I know it gets hard at times, but dog, you have no choice but to grow through these situations. I've been through some fucked up shit in my life, man. But I think when you're able to look at those situations in retrospect, you're like, yo, I'm glad I didn't make any decisions that, could have fucked my life up. Mm-hmm. Man, it's sometimes you could be in a situation where you so broke you contemplating committing a crime. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, yo, man, my bills ain't paid. My kids is hungry. I'm about to go rob a bank today. Mm-hmm. But if you actually were able to rationalize, you say, look, I need to find some other way to do this. I can't rob a bank.
Yeah.
I'm going to contact some friends, see if I can get some help. But in that moment, you can become a victim of that moment and you could do something that is irreversible. You know, so I'll just encourage men to get the help, man. Get the help. Don't feel bad. You see what the stories I admit about myself when it comes to me, you know, even me being in my feminine and who is that person? What's going on? I've been there. It's embarrassing, but it's a life experience, brother. It's a life experience. You got to learn. You got to grow through certain things. It happens. It happens. You know, when I see somebody going down the street, right, and they got a real raggedy car and it's broke down and they pushing it, I get out and help them. You know why I get out and help them? Because I remember what it felt like to push a raggedy car down the motherfucking street. Didn't start up right. You didn't got the money to fix it. Your car break down and you got $8 in your pocket. I've been there. Trust me, I know how it feels. I'm not just a motherfucker telling you to get help or, you know, I know how it feels to be poor or be hurt by women. I've been through all of those emotions as a man. I've been through all of them. You'll make it through this shit, man. You just got to hang on. You have to have a steadfast attitude and you'll make it through this shit, bro. It's just, it is a temporary storm. It's gripping your life and you feel crippled by it, but it ain't over, man. It is not over. Trust me. It's not the end of the motherfucking world, man. That's just the message I don't want to speak more on this because I'll talk till I'm blue in the face. But that's my take on this. Anything else, Keith?
No.
All right, we'll wrap it up with this next one. Switching gears. You're always building your house. And this actually this idea or this concept was brought about by Keith. And it's something that he had came across. Let me read it. Oh, man, we're going to have to switch these seats out. My ass is killing me in this seat.
Yeah, I'm always uncomfortable.
Man, my motherfucking ass feel like I feel like my ass got stoned in the biblical days. All right, you're always building your own house. Here's the example. It is a Zen tale on how to achieve your personal best. One of the most interesting stories is about a Tokyo architect, Koda, who spent his career building homes with incredible exactitude and devotion. After many, many years, he became tired of building homes for others and decided to retire. One day, he handed in his 2-week notice, but the boss asked him, while acknowledging all of his amazing work that he'd done for the firm, whether he would please build just one more house. It was a very important client, and the boss needed Koda's magic touch. After agonizing over the decision, he decided to build the house, but his heart was no longer in it. He viewed the job as an obligation, and consequently, a lot of the exact details fell through the cracks. After 4 months, the house was finished. Koda was ready to move on to the next phase of his life. When he told the boss the house was finished, the boss reached back into his desk and handed him a small black box with a ribbon around it. Inside were shiny new keys. The boss said, "The house is yours. You deserve it." Koda was crushed. The entire time, Koda was cutting corners in order to get this last job out of the way, all the while unknowingly building his own house. And folks, that is a lesson for anybody that's creating content, creating music, whatever it is you're doing. If you work at a job, let's say, for example, you're working at a law firm, right? And you're just like in a more of an employee position. And one day you want to have your own law firm. You could never run your own law firm. Basically, here's the thing. You can't be a good boss until you've been a good employee, right? That's just my thing. And if you're cutting corners as an employee, what do you think you're going to do as a boss? You're going to cut corners and inconvenience yourself. Your investment is different in your company because it's all based off of you. So if you cut a corner, you get a corner. Right? That's what you fucking get. And in this guy's case, he literally built all these houses. He built up resentment. He was going to retire. He was no longer invested in it. And they asked him to build one more house. And instead of all those houses he built, he didn't cut no corners. But when it came down to the last house, he didn't want to do it. He wasn't invested in it. And they handed him the keys to his own house. So in that moment, he shortchanged himself. Whatever you do, make sure you do it at a high level. You know, even if you work at a job you don't like, don't cut corners. Just do the job the way it's supposed to be done. And as long as you do that, As long as you do that, eventually when you choose to ascend in life, it'll be the same result, except it'll be for you this time. That is the difference.
Yeah. I think that when you think about the message, you're always building your own house. You got to think about it from a sense of your, like if you are in reference to working a job, you're always in development, right? Like if your goal is to one day be a business owner, one day be, you may be going to work and also be in school and in college, and you hope to one day be like, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the case may be. You got to realize like how you do anything is how you do everything. So when it comes to I just lost my train of thought.
Keith's been acting different since he turned 30. This nigga's acting different.
No, but I just think this, like when I heard this conversation about from a friend, and he was basically telling me like, yo, I just haven't really found my passion yet. Like I'm still kind of searching for this thing. I'm not able to give this job my maximum effort because it's not really what I want to do. And if you take this story, you realize that statement doesn't really work. Like it's kind of nonsense, because when you in development of yourself, trying to develop yourself as a better human being, trying to develop yourself as a better father, a husband, a boyfriend, whatever the case may be, all these little things matter. Like, so for you, whether you like calling out of work or showing up to work late, or like you said, cutting corners at work, even if it's as simple as like, making a hamburger at McDonald's, like you want to do that to your maximum efforts, because all of this stuff translates, in terms of your leadership skills and all these other things that you're, trying to develop yourself as. Like for me, I'm a person that I could probably count on my hands, like in terms of my like working, like job career, the amount of times like I missed work. The last job I had, I was working at the Boys and Girls Club. The only time I actually missed work at the Boys and Girls Club is because I had another job, like filming my friend's sister's wedding. But other than that, I went to work every day. When I worked at McDonald's, I went to work every day. When I worked at Aaron's, I went to work every day. Like right. I just because I treated, one, you don't get paid if you don't go to work. But two, it's like I don't miss the podcast, and that's how it translates. I'm not a person that's like, there's a lot of I hear it all the time. Like, my mom was telling me about my little brother and how he basically just called off of work one day and he went to a party, and I'm just like, yo, that's like, that's something that he got to deal with on his own. But like for me, I don't operate like that, because I know that like I said, that stuff translates. Like, we hear every Monday we dropping, for over 4 years of, consistent content. And that's because, like we said, you always building your own house. So I just think people out there, I think they have this idea that, once I get on, I'm going to be good. Once I get famous, I ain't going to have to worry about this job. This job is going to be nothing to me. Or, once I get this business off the ground, I'm going to show up more. I'm going to be more consistent. It's like, no, if you can't show up in, in terms of like your learning, when you not the CEO,
Facts.
What makes you think that you just going to all of a sudden hit the switch? And when you the boss and you writing the checks and everything, you're going to be as consistent, know.
Things are built habitually. We are creatures of habit. So if you're a person that's a fucked up employee and now you got to be a boss and you, all the checks and balances and everything is on you, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
If you've been half-assing it, it's going to catch up because it's built into your habits. I'll tell you right now, I don't want to be an owner-op just based on the fact that it's way too consuming. You ain't gonna get no days off and shit like that. But truth be told, if I was to be an owner op, I'd be a good one, because I've been an understudy of an owner op for many years. I know what it takes. I know the responsibility of it, and that's one of the reasons why I want to stay away from it, because I'm building something outside of trucking that I want to completely transition into. I feel like trucking is just a stepping stone for what I eventually want to do. Right. But yeah, I'll be a great owner op and I make a lot of money, but money is not the objective. Happiness and being fulfilled is my objective long term. But yeah, man, that's all I've got on that. But yeah, man, make sure that if you are building 1 million houses and you've done those things great for everybody else, keep that habit, because one day it might be for yourself.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, I just think overall, you want to be a very detail oriented person. I know there was this athlete that I played with in high school football, and he was probably like, one of the better athletes to come out of Bakersfield. And one of the things that I noticed about him is like, he had all the raw talent in the world, but he didn't have like the craziest work ethic, right? So there would be like moments where I remember vividly, like, a lot of times when you're doing like football workouts as a team, and you may have to like run around the school or something like that. And, when you're on the other side of the campus, like the coaches is not there. They're not necessarily monitoring you. They trusting that you're going to do the work to your maximum capabilities. But what I noticed about, this athlete is that he kind of, sometimes he would cut corners. Like he would, like if we had to do, and say we doing like up downs or something like that, and the coach might turn his back, he might skip out on 1 or 2 reps or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Yeah, so that started to happen. But what happened, like over time, like he went from being like the best athlete in town pretty much to like by the time we hit senior year, he was just a guy.
Player. Just good, but not great.
Just a guy. Yeah, and it just it like everything, like the way I look at it is like everything matters. Like, so for me, the type of work that I put into, whether I'm going to the gym, like, and I'm not even like an athlete anymore, whether we on the podcast, whether we, doing whatever, like we got to be detailed in a way where everything matters. And I would just suggest that to people, in terms of like, cleaning your car, washing your dishes or whatever, just doing like these little things in life, and just see how they manifest in different areas, and how, the type of success you can reach by just building your own house always.
Yeah, man. Most definitely, man. Well, looks like we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. But I'll say this. We genuinely appreciate everyone who takes time to listen. I know that sometimes all the topics may not be as great as you would like them to be. We do a great job, but at the same time, we don't assume that everything we say is super interesting, because we also are consumers of podcasts. Sometimes they go on a tangent of things that are not that interesting, right? But, I think we batting at about 90% right now. We batting over 300 for sure. All right? We got Barry Bonds numbers out here, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you made it to the end of this episode, man, we genuinely appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here, man.
Peace.